Have you ever heard of a saying that says never judge a book by its cover? Have you? Let's talk about it a bit. It's something that is used so many times, it's used a lot, but you might find that some people just know there's a perspective, just trying to get their way over things that you should never judge me onto this thing, but it actually means more than what you look at it. When people say never judge a book by its cover, let's give an idea of the meaning first. That meaning always says that never judge a book by its cover. They literally talk about a person, that you should never look at a person on their outside appearance and give an outside view over what that person is within by just looking at them, or give an identity of a person to identify a person as who the person is just by looking them at outside. So when the person who came up with that saying never judge a book by its cover, when he was talking about it, what he was really trying to tell the world is that so many times we find ourselves in different situations which sometimes we give an overall view of a certain activity or a certain individual without actually discovering who this individual is or what exactly this person is. The reason why I come up with this is because you find that I do this a lot sometimes, because you might see a people in a certain function and they're acting amiss or doing something that is crazy, and they'll be like, so this is what the character of this person is. I never knew that this person was like this. And maybe I look at a person, I meet somebody, and I'll be like, okay, so this is how the person is. Because the problem with that is this: people are people. I know it doesn't make sense when I say it, but what I'm trying to tell you is that people are people, and the people are people of God. Whatever you see of me today doesn't mean that's the person you will see tomorrow. Why? Because sometimes God takes a person from this place to another position. That's how it is. So the term never judge a book by its cover, it does not only implement on the situation of judging a certain occasion or a person on a certain occasion, but it's actually talking about, in general, never put a person on a position in which your eyes can only see or in which your ears can only hear, because people never stays at the same position. I don't remain the same I was yesterday. It's impossible. I'm not the same guy who talked about something else last week that you heard. I'm a person who keeps evolving, keep changing day by day, because somehow this great God we serve always make sure that as the day goes, I learn, I become a better person. So whenever you look at the situation of never judge a book by its cover, never look at a person in an idealized world of whatever you are seeing, what we are only talking about is this: as an individual, you need to understand that people are people of God. The people you look down to when you're going up, they're the same people now you look up to because they've been elevated by the Lord, or they've been taken to another level. So when we talk about never judge a book by its cover, we are literally telling you that sometimes certain individuals get to hear of what you say, and we hold on to what you say. We work to develop ourselves to be better, and we want you to feel the pain of you throwing us down. I will never judge a person with what they are wearing, with how they talk like, or with how their accent sounds like. The reason why I would never do that is because I know the pain. I understand, because in another language, in another place, I sound funny. So because you don't wear nice clothes, it doesn't mean that you're gonna remain that way. It means that in this certain season that you're in, that's where God has got you in. And somehow, maybe when I see you in 2 years from now, you'll be wearing different clothes, you'll be on another level. God would have lifted you to another position. So it means what I'm talking about is this: you can never, one thing that I'm just trying to teach people is that you should learn to not to judge. Should learn not to judge, because as I'm speaking to you, people from my country where I come from in Zim, they are losing their head because one of the most well-known artists who used to produce music for the world, he has now found Christ and he has decided to actually make music singing and praising God, and everyone are losing it. Somebody has an opinion over that. They have something that they have to say. But when you look deep within, you have to ask yourself, why? Why now? What put him there? Why did God choose to take him now? Because when you go into the Bible, when you read the Bible, you'll find that there was a man by the name of Moses. This man was a man who lived as an Egyptian. I know he was a Philistine, but he lived as an Egyptian. Everything that happened of him was always in Egypt. He learned the cultures of the Egyptian, until one day he got to learn that he is actually not only an Egyptian, he's actually an Israelite. He's just an Israelite who was carried and brought in as an Egyptian, but he is not of this tribe. And from then he thought he could help one of the Israelites when he was being punished, because Israelites by then they were slaves, so he thought he could help. And in the process of doing that, the people he was helping came after him that he had to run away. So this is a guy who came from high power, and he was with everything, and he discovered that he's people of the low power, and he helps those people, and they tell on him, they try to get him killed, and he had to run away. When the same guy came back, after he went in and met God, and he had to come back to get the children of Israel out of Egypt, he came and met up with the brother he grew up with in the temple, who was now a king, if I remember so well. And he was asked, okay, I know you, Moses. I grew up with you. We used to play football. What do you think you have done? I don't think you've changed. You are the same guy that I know. But he didn't know that even though he was no longer wearing the shiny golds that all those Egyptians were wearing, he was now carrying something special. So with that something special, that's when you get to learn the story and everything that happens. So one thing that I'm trying to tell you over that story is that sometimes people are not as they seem when you met them the first time. It's never the same thing, because as I talk about the Bible as well, if we go back, if we look at the story of Paul, 1 minute he was killing every person who believed in Christ, and the next minute he's preaching to each and every Gentile to find Christ. People are people, and people are of God. If God feels like he wants to do something special with you, your time will come and he will do that. So one thing I advise you out there, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't look at a person's dressing, don't look at a person's culture or whatever he does, because where he is today, who told you you'll still be at the same place tomorrow? This is what our God does. He carries people from the position of low to a position of high. He does that. And you, of a person of a position of high, you might find yourself in the position of low. It still happens. There's this to say that I always try to tell people, and I think I've talked about it here on Sam when I was telling you that sometimes you have to look at life as a wheel. So many people that who love that you going down, you're gonna look at them as you go up, as they remain at the position of down. This life is like a ladder as well, where you're always climbing up. So you're always advised, when you climb a ladder, don't laugh at the people you pass by in your way up, because these are the people who will look at you when you fall down. So sometimes if you laugh and if you treat these people with respect, if you don't judge them, if you don't want your opinion to be voiced out because you're at that position, if you show them the love and respect that they deserve, these are the people who might carry you and help you to be another level. There are always opportunity in lives. Whenever you meet an individual, you should learn this. This is an important rule. Whenever you meet an individual, you're either gonna find yourself making a friend for life or an enemy for life. And sometimes I advise people that it's important to make friends with people you meet, not enemies, because enemies will work hard or will do things to put you down, but friends will always lift you up without even you knowing. So don't judge a book by its cover. Learn to respect people. Treat the high class and the low class the same, because people are people and people are of God. So thank you very much for watching, Sam. I hope you've learned this one, because it's something that I always try to remind myself every single time, to humble myself, because it's always important to remain in that position. Whether I have something, whether I don't have something, I always have to remind myself that I'm at a position of law and I need to humble myself and respect people the same way as I would want them to respect me. Even though I'm a high or low, I need them to respect me the same, so I'll give them the same thing. So I'm saying, don't judge a person. Never judge a book by the cover, because what's inside can change your life. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something amazing, unique. I hope this actually teaches you something special and important. I've been Sam, and I will see you on another one. We are out. Peace. Subscribe to Sam.